This video is about how to win in an argument against your significant other. Well,
you're
the worst.
Think about what
You're
I'm
always
so annoying all the time. Number one, we tricked you because you want to try not to get in an argument in the first place. Arguments typically happen when you have something boiling up inside and it builds and it stacks. Multiple different events or circumstances happen and then the cap blows off and then you finally get in that big argument when there's a lot of history behind it. So people have asked Jeff and I how often we get into an argument, and in our 8 years together, we can only really remember like one big argument that we had. All the other ones were just like conversations, really, because when something comes up, we tell each other right away so nothing ever boils up to become something much bigger than it needs to be.
Number two, tone it down. Take it from an 11 back down to a 2.
Yep.
Right? Think about the reason why you're having an argument. The point of it is to have the other person think of it from your side. How can they feel what I'm feeling? Like, I want them to understand me, right? So think about it, you're at work. If someone in the office is unhappy about something and starts yelling, crying, grabbing
things,
people, throwing things,
screaming,
about the fact that they didn't turn in their TPS report on time, or like, you probably won't remember their argument. You won't remember how they were like, how am I supposed to feel empathy for this person? You'll just remember, God, that person's insane. Like, how could, we should get rid of that person, right? Like, in a relationship, when they get rid of you, you're no longer in a relationship.
Totally. And when your actions and your energy feels really unreasonable, then your actual argument or your point of view is going to seem unreasonable too. So remember that your energy and your state should match how calm and confident you feel about sharing your perspective. Ooh, okay, number 3.
Okay.
You guys ready? Number 3.
This one's a tough one, but
so
you can either be in love or you can be right.
Ooh, what?
What do you mean? What do you mean? But sometimes I am right, and I want to be in love.
So typically when people are in arguments, someone always wants to have the last word, that closing statement to show that I'm right and you're wrong and ha!
Got him.
Take that. But that's not really what an argument is for. An argument is to share each other's perspectives, tell someone that you feel differently from how they feel, and you want to come to common ground. That's what winning an argument is. What that means. You want to win by the two of you understanding each other and moving forward in an awesome relationship.
Oh, so right. Let's take a totally made up example. Let's say I always do the dishes at home, and every day I'm doing the dishes, I'm like, oh man, I'm always doing the dishes.
I never do the dishes.
Always doing the dishes, and then one day I'm like, babe, you never do the dishes. Like, how come I'm always the one around the house? Like, I feel like I'm just putting so into relationships, I feel like you don't even care. And a lot of times, that's where it ends. Be like, I'm always doing them. I care more about it. I'm going to bed. I hate this. I'm out.
Yeah, and the other person will be like, well, you're the one who wants to cook all the time, or why I take out the trash so you take out the dishes.
Yeah,
and
I walk the dog,
all sorts of
I take care of the kids, I do all this other stuff. But, at the end of the day, what are we actually fighting about, right? Let's actually come to the table and discuss it and come to a point where we both can be happy.
So here's a great way to talk through an argument is say, this is how it makes me feel. So for example, Jeff's made up character would be like, I feel like anytime you're not doing the dishes that I feel like I'm alone and I am more committed to making our home a beautiful space than you are. And that's okay because that's how he feels. You can't change that. There's no right or wrong to that point. And I would say the same thing for my side of the argument.
You always want to meet in a happy medium, right? Mm-hmm. In an argument, you always want to come together and make some kind of a change.
That's how you win an argument.
You get some change.
Yeah.
And both people are feeling good about it, right? That's a business deal, right? Not everyone always gets what they want, but when you can come together, work together on something together, and we, in the end, the feelings are love, and we're all together. It's lovely. That's where you want to be.
So Jeff and I basically end arguments in under 10 minutes because that's how much time it takes for him to show how he feels, me to show how I feel, and then we have this open-mindedness for understanding each other. Typically at the end of our arguments, we're like, I'm sorry that I made you feel that way, and I will try to do better by blank, blank, blank. And he will say, I'm sorry I made you feel that way, and I will try to do better by blank, blank, blank. No matter who is right or wrong, both people can make a change moving forward.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not easy. It's not gonna be you're not gonna get it right the first time. Sometimes you might have to talk about the same topic once, twice, but eventually you'll get it.
We hope these tips were helpful. Number 1, try not to get in an argument in the first place. Always be honest and open. If something kind of bothers you or sort of is like peeking through the surface, talk about it right away.
Tone it down. Use effective communication skills.
Be calm.
Be calm.
Like the wind.
Pretend like you're at work and you're trying to convince people of a thing that you're trying to get across.
And number 3, you can either be in love or you can be right. And we choose love every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if any of that resonates with you, or if you have any questions, put them in the comments below.
Tap.
You don't have to say this for yourself. You can say, I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah, we got you.
Got you.
All right, see you guys in the next video. Bye. I choose to be in love. What do you choose?
I choose to be right.